Here they are.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. So Martin is here with us. Welcome back to Humans of Westknits. Martin, welcome back. We missed you last
Thanks.
couple times. We talked about you, but it was great to
This
see
brass
you.
band is getting in my way of knitting. And
Well,
as much as I love it, it's the wrong time to be back in band with the MKAL.
right. I just watched your October. I'm going blank on the word. So I just watched it. I understood how busy you are with the band and everything. And best of luck with that competition. That sounds very exciting.
Thank you.
So you only have 5 minutes to share your progress with us. So go, show us your progress, talk about this week.
Should we do we need to do spoilers? People don't need spoilers anymore, do they? Because they're here. They know that we're going to be showing off
We're
shawls.
gonna be spoiling left and right. So if you guys don't want to see spoilers, just knit along and listen to us and don't look at the screen because chances are you're gonna see some spoils out there. So go for it.
So I finished, I was going to say Clue 2 last night. No, I finished part 1 of Clue 2.
Right.
So I turned my square into a diamond, or half a diamond, because I've done the one bit.
Right.
So yes, so I've done my first stripy section, and because I was very good last night, it was 11 o'clock, but I did it. I've picked up the stitches to do the next side. So like if I get home, I won't get home until about 11 o'clock tonight. But if I'm then wide awake, I can just knit.
Does
That's
this
the shape.
stress you out? Because when we started, you were very ambitious in your plans to knit 2 shawls this year. And I'm sure none of us love restarting and redoing and whatever, but they all did it. Did that stress you out, the fact that you can't follow your plan? And in last years, you were fine with being team embrace your pace. Like, does that bother you this year?
Oh yeah, and I feel like I'm even though I've set myself a challenge of doing 2, I'm always going to be, I was never going to keep up with 2. I understand why we've changed and I'm happy. I love, especially when I hold it in front of a camera, I love the way the triangle
It's really funky.
looks.
It has this 3D.
Yeah, it looks really cool, especially in Mark's colors. I think because they're quite close together as a palette, I just love how it appears. So no, I love the knitting and the process. So I'm happy to be team embrace your pace. There's a small chance, like if I can do an hour and a half tonight when I get home, I might be able, and then like an hour and a half tomorrow night before the weekend, I can be done with Clue 2. So I'm not that far behind. Whereas last year, Linda will recall when I went, "What have I done to my purling?" And people were like, "Oh no, that's very bad." And I had to rip the whole thing out, and I didn't know how to fix it. Although I've since worked out today, last night, the way I hold my yarn is weird over my little finger. And if I just wrap my yarn around my pinky and then my middle finger, it tightens it up. So as I'm purling, I've noticed my tension's got a little better.
Oh, interesting.
So I've learned something already.
Right.
But no, I'm loving it. And actually by knitting 1, I've already worked out how I'm going to adapt it for 2. So I'm going to do a crochet one for mine.
I've heard that. I've heard that rumor.
I love when I saw Stephen's Instagram with a crochet center.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a crochet center, and I've already worked out one of these stripes. So I'm going to put my mohair in it instead of the third color. And then on some of these, I'm going to put my mohair in instead of the eyelets, above the eyelets. So the fact I'm doing 1, I can already think about how I can change 2, and I'm excited to start 2.
Do you have any predictions on the third clue?
No. I don't know where we're going next, and I don't know whether like in the section are we come in, because that's going to come around to there.
Right.
So do we come out that way? I'm still not thinking brioche. I just don't know if it's going to fit. But who knows? If we're going to get brioche, it's going to be week 3, isn't it? He's not going to leave us with brioche in week 4.
Right.
It's kind of, I've nothing to back that up, but we will see. But I kind of feel like this is the perfect older child. This is the first child. And my one's going to be the slightly rebellious younger sibling. And I feel like I'm going to mess around with the pattern slightly and yeah, do the crochet, do the mohair. Yeah, very excited.
Well,
How are you getting on? You finished, haven't you?
yeah, I did. Well, another
Oh, sure.
spoiler, I'll show you mine. So I went crazy. I did sparkles, I did mohair. You can't really see it. Like it, I especially did the video on Instagram showing it up close because it
You can
doesn't
see the sparkle in the Instagram video, yeah.
right. But I'm like absolutely loving it. I love the colors. I love all the sparkle. It makes me super happy. I also have zero idea of where we're going next, not even the direction. I don't even know if we're going up, down, left or right. Like really cannot wait until tomorrow. Well, I wanna
No, I was thinking I had another 24 hours and I haven't. It's like whatever I get done tonight, that's it. The next clue's coming.
right.
But
But the fact that you finish one side, assuming we're gonna go continue sideways, you might be able to continue on
ah,
clue 3 on one side and then finish the second. So there might
that's
be,
true. I hadn't thought about that.
yeah. So
But
there's
I'm not far. I've memorized the pattern now because obviously folks that have done clue 2, it's quite
right.
an easy repeat once
Yeah,
you've
it's
got it.
easy
I,
to
I
remember.
I don't think it'll take me long to finish it. And I've got a 4-hour bus ride on Friday and on Sunday. So even though I'm in the competition, I won't get much done on Saturday. I've kind of got some travel time.
Right.
So I'm hoping my plan is by Sunday, I will have finished clue 2. So I'm only a couple of days behind. And then next week, I've got nothing on all week. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting on my sofa. I'm going to get week 3 done in the week.
Well, I'm gonna be at Rhinebeck starting Friday,
Oh,
Saturday,
I'm going to beat
Sunday.
you. I'm going to beat
Because,
you this
yeah,
week.
you have all the chances of catching up, you know.
We said this last year, though, in fairness. You were at Rhinebeck and I still was behind.
Well, that's fine because this is how this show is running. You know, we're all going at different paces as long
Yeah.
as we're all enjoying it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish you all the best of luck with your competition and I want to hear all about it. So ask Mark to film a little bit if he
Yeah,
can.
tonight is an open rehearsal. So we're rehearsing in a church. So anybody in the local area can come and listen to us rehearse. So Mark is coming along with one of my friends, and Mark's going to try and film a little bit. So in the next Vlogtober, hopefully, there'll be a bit of the brass band. What am I up to? But yeah, competitions on Saturday. So band tonight, band tomorrow, travel to London Friday, band Friday night. And then there's 20 bands, I think. So at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, they do the draw, decide which order we're playing in. So I'll then know, am I a morning person, an afternoon person? So there might be some knitting because if I'm a late draw, there'll be a hanging around because you can't do anything. You can't drink. You can't go to the pub. You can't really go out for lunch because you don't know what, it could be brought forward. They could be ahead of schedule. And so lots of hanging around on Saturday.
Well,
So yeah,
bestest of luck to you.
thank you very much. I'm absolutely gutted I'm not staying knowing who's coming up next.
So thank you. And I have a surprised guest today for you guys. Last year, you may remember if you were participating in Humans of Westknits, or if you've been watching it, I had Linda, the test knit coordinator for Westknits, being interviewed before we started. And Linda just joined us. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Welcome back. Love having you here. So I wanna talk to you about this year and what happened this year a little bit and what it meant for test knit coordinator and test knitters in general.
Yeah.
So Stephen posted the first clue, and almost as soon as that video went through, some people noticed the hate symbol.
Yeah.
And he responded immediately. There was no delay in his response. He didn't try to backpedal from it. He immediately took responsibility, said it wasn't intended, and he proposed the alternative clue 1. There was a lot of discussion about it. Some people agreed, some people disagreed, some people wanted to continue, some people said, let's do what the designer said. And it was going back and forth for a couple of days. And there were, what I loved, that community came together and a lot of people came up with alternative design suggestions. Some of them were concentrating on how to not to frog what already been done and just adopt it. And some people were coming with completely new creative decisions. And to me, that was like really beautiful. But then Steven posted his video where he said that he doesn't really want to be responsible for every single design being augmented. He wanted to show what his version of that design was, and he broke down. He cried during that video. He apologized for any hurt that people had from that whole thing. And after that, when I posted that Zoom, a lot of comments on my on the Humans of Westknits, they were some were very supportive, and some were saying, you know what, we are here to knit Steven West design. I want to have Steven West original. I'm not gonna improvise. Some people decided to go with the improvisational, and like half of us in these different camps. And then there were a few who were like deciding to stuck with the original for whatever reasons, right? Some of that was, I don't have any time to reknit it. Some of it was, I don't see it, so I don't care. Like there was a lot of different views. A lot of people were attacking test knitters because they were saying, well, where was his team? Why didn't they see that happening? So I want to hear how that thing was breaking out for you. What was your day that day? How was that going?
Well, first of all, I felt awful about everything because I was one of the people that didn't see the hate symbol. None of the test knitters flagged it, so I'm guessing that none of them saw it either, because I'm sure that if anyone would have seen it, they would have talked about it. We had a bigger group of test knitters this year than we've had previously. We had a closed Instagram chat where we shared photos of our progress and talked about any issue with the pattern. And I personally think it's kind of like, you know, that ink blot test. Different forms can mean different things to people. The main issue was, of course, some people were hurt and they saw something that was never meant to be there.
Right.
So, of course, he had to react. And he did. We had a lot of conversations over that weekend and the whole team. And it was very difficult. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why didn't I see it?
Right, but it also meant a lot of extra work for the entire test knit team, because here you were, you finished your shawl, it was all nicely, beautifully done. Steven had everything recorded, which, believe me, guys, like recording something and editing it, it's such a nightmare. Like even to record myself, it's a struggle. It takes me 20 takes to film any second of the video that you see on my YouTube channel. Editing usually takes at least twice as long. So I know the amount of work that had to be redone. How did you tackle that?
Well, the only thing that really changed was this first original clue. And what Steven wrote as now Clue 1 version 3, which is the official clue that we want out in the world. He just wrote it so the stitch count would add up perfectly to the following clues.
Right.
So some of our test knitters decided to just make a completely new shawl. And like for me personally, when I get my original shawl back, it's now in Amsterdam with Steven. I'm gonna like cut out the original clue and do something different. I think I'm gonna do the crochet version because I think it's really beautiful. And then I just started knitting a completely new shawl based on the original pattern, like the now original pattern.
Right.
So, I mean, we didn't tell everybody that they had to do something different, but I think everybody did. We just decided to, okay, this sometimes happens. I mean, sometimes he designs something and then he decides not to release it because of something, some similarity, or he just has fallen out of love with the design, or like there can be many reasons for these kind of changes.
Well, I mean, we as knitters frog all the time. I mean, it's part of the being the knitter, right? Like every single person who ever knitted anything. Like there are people who, you know what, yesterday somebody posted in the Facebook group that I'm running that she knitted the sweater for her grandchild only to discover that it doesn't fit through the hat. I mean, it's like, it's, you know, things happen all the time. Things like we change the lengths of the body, or you know, it's part of the process for knitters, and especially for designers. People go like, they consider all the first few tries as swatch, basically. Even if they finish it completely, they still readjust. So like, I don't think it was such a big deal that 1 day of knitting or 2 days of knitting been asked to be frogged and restarted. Like at the end of the day, the first clue does not take that long to knit, and it's not that big piece of a knitting, you know. It's like we all more and we all done worse. Did you feel like you were under pressure to finish it as fast as you could now that you had to restart it?
The new version? No, I'm just knitting it at my own pace. I'm also like moderating the Facebook, not the Ravelry group, and I have a full-time job and a big family, and like I'm a busy woman.
Right.
So I'm just knitting it at my own pace. And do you want? Can I show it to you?
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. This is my new version. I'm not done with clue 1. I'm not even halfway there.
Clue 2, you mean?
Huh?
You mean clue 2?
Clue 2, yeah, clue 2. That's what I meant.
Did you choose the same colors, or did you went with completely different colors for your second version?
Completely different. For the first show that I did, I had one of the official kits from Punk Rock Unicorn in like amazing, beautiful red colors. And I have posted photos of it just with the center like edited out, because I really want to like display her yarn and the beautiful colors and how they interact in the design. So I talked to Stephen about it, and he was like, yeah, if you can just like edit out the first part, you can absolutely share photos of it. So that's what I'm doing, and posting like yardage notes for people that are like playing with scraps and stuff. And then I'm, I have this whole new, and I'm still excited about it.
Yeah, because like when you do it the first time, when you actually test knit the pattern, you don't know the next clue. You don't get the whole pattern. You test knit as he went, right?
This time we actually got everything, because he was like on point, and like he had done basically everything, I think, except the last clue when he sent the pattern to us, and then he made like small minor adjustments and sent the update, and we just went from there.
Any hints of where we're going with
no.
Guys, I thought maybe I can sneak it in. I tried.
No. But I can tell you one thing. Next week, like tomorrow, when the clue drops, that's my favorite part of this design. And the final one is Steven's favorite. So you have great things coming.
I'm so excited. Well, thank you so much, Linda, for joining. And if you guys have any questions for Linda, please put them in the comments, and we'll get her back to answer your questions. Thank you. So I want to ask you, if you haven't shared your second clue last time, or if you didn't start even your second clue last time, who wants to share their version? And in order to do that, just please raise your hand. It's in the reactions. If you click on the reactions, it's gonna show you the hand signal. Joy, can you please unmute yourself?
So behind me is my version. I did finish clue 1, except that it was so sloppy. So at the point where I could bring in knitting, I was crocheting the center part. And at point, I think where I have 53 stitches, if I added 32 more, then that will give me 8 rows for 4 colors, 32 more rounds. And then that will bring me to 85. But it was so, the corners were so sloppy, I didn't like it. So I frogged. And now I'm back to trying to finish clue 1 or week 1. And I decided I'll finish everything in crochet for week 1 and then move on to knitting, where I have the instructions how to do the corners
Right.
properly. So
That's beautiful. Like, and I remember seeing your first
yes.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the 8-petal African flower motif. There's a 6-petal version which will make hexagons, but this one is for a square.
Do you think you're gonna play with mohair in the second clue?
I already did, but then I frogged it.
How was that as an experience?
Yes, yeah. I ordered sparkles to Irina because
Yeah.
she inspired me.
Oh, great thing. I'm glad it was inspiring.
Yeah, I'm going to do the sparkles and mohair.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing it.
Sure.
Allison, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi,
Hi,
I'm new here,
welcome.
but I am almost done with Clue 2. I'm on the last 4 stripes on the second side, so I'll probably finish that tonight. But I have all these lovely purple colors,
Beautiful.
and I did for my Clue 1. I made the stripes like smaller
Mm-hmm.
each time, so I had an equal number of stripes.
Could you hold it like so we can see the whole clue? I love
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a row, but
it.
here.
Sorry, we don't want you to drop any stitches. Thank you. Are you enjoying the second clue?
Yeah, I think it's nice. It's pretty simple, so it's kind of like, you can do it while watching TV or whatever.
Right. And when you said you are new here, have you done the MKAL before?
Yeah, I'm wearing my twists and turns.
Yeah.
I loved that.
What made you decide to join?
Oh, I watched the YouTube videos and I was kind of like, I need more people to talk about knitting too. Not very many of my friends really knit or like,
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's exciting. It would be exciting to have people to talk to that like understand the terminology. Like I was at a party with some friends and one of them did knit, so we talked about knitting a lot. And it's just nice because it's like I don't have to explain what short rows are or
Right. Well, I'm so glad you're joining us. So hopefully you can show us your progress in the future Zoom meetings. Thank you. Roseanne, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
I took some inspiration from you, Irina, and I went and picked up some mohair. I had a lot of stash yarn from friends because I don't personally keep stash, and I just thought it would be neat to dress it up a little. So what I did was I had finished the Clue 1 a couple of times, different iterations of it, and finally decided that I was going to do it a 5th time. I'm very happy for the yarn that I have because it is relatively resilient. And I do a lot of work on the road. So at the moment, you can't really see it because it's on a small needle. Magic Loop doesn't really work well when you have to put it in your briefcase. So I started to incorporate the mohair as I go out in a different stripe every time. And the yarn that I'm using, the original yarn actually had stellina in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So combining that with the mohair, and I even found a very interesting mohair. And it was a boucle I'm not sure how well it will show up on the screen, but I'm very excited about it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just very interesting. It's from Ito. I found it at the local yarn shop.
I'm really obsessed with Ito yarns. Like I'm trying to get them on my channel because I think they have tremendous yarn there.
Oh, you should. And they have such a fabulous story.
And they have paper yarn. They have I mean, it's like they have actually this one.
That's
with
their
all the
sparkle, isn't
paper.
it?
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
the black, gold, and silver sparkle. I absolutely love their yarn. Every time I come to my local yarn store, which is the Unruly Stitch in Weston, Massachusetts, she has like the whole collection of Ito yarn there, and I'm always somehow find myself by that shelf.
Yeah,
looking
and the other neat thing with the Ito yarn is that a lot of it can be combined, so you can use 3 or 4 fibers at the same time. So if you're a real big fan of Shibui yarn, and we can't get the Shibui yarn anymore, you can use the Ito in a lot of the Shibui patterns. So
Right.
yeah, next time I'm at Unruly Stitch, I will definitely be picking up more.
Well, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about Roseanne, she wrote this book. It's called Cozy Coastal Knits. And can you please put the link to it in the comments there so people can find it like on or your website or Amazon, whatever they can buy it. And this,
Thank you, Irene.
I'm actually thinking of knitting this particular poncho, but they have so many beautiful shawls and ponchos and hats and
Well, thank you.
garments.
It's a lot of fun. It was a great book to work on.
Thank you. So just put the information about it in the comments so people can find you.
Thank you, Irina.
Thank you. Soraya, could you please unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
So I haven't got much knitting time in over the last couple of weeks. I've just finished an old job and just started a new job, so it's been like all manic. But I'm on to Clue 2.
So you finished the first one?
Yeah, finished the first Clue. On to Clue 2. I'm almost halfway through Clue 2. Don't have any mohair in stash, so I was like, okay, but wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit like personalized to me. I thought, what can I do? And I've got some of the yarn left over from the contrast blast socks. And I thought, okay, I've got 2 colors here. And what I'm doing is every other eyelet row is a different color from the socks. So got the light green, then the dark green, then the light green, then the dark green, and it's all mixing in nicely with my purples. And I don't know if you'll be able to.
It's beautiful.
That's all.
Love, love, love it.
So yeah, so it's slightly different.
Beautiful. Were you happy with the second clue? Was it like something you wished for, like relaxed knitting? Did you wish it would be more challenging? What was your feeling about it?
At the moment, because life is stupidly busy, I'm really happy that it's a nice relaxed knit, to be honest.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
thank you for sharing your progress. Do you have any idea of where we're going with the third clue? Any predictions?
So I think we're still going to keep going out. But you know what Stephen's like. We could just take a turn around the corner and who knows.
Right. Thank you. Debbie, would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Hi.
Welcome.
I've been in the meetings before, but I haven't said anything. I just kind of am the stalker. And I've been following you guys. I wish Martin was still here, but I found Martin first. I've been watching knitting, blogs, you name it, for 5-6 years now. And like we say, we want somebody that speaks our own language.
Right.
So they're like my knitting friends when I'm sitting here all by myself, just like he's talking to the camera all by himself. And so I found Martin, and then Martin brought me Irina, which I'm so thankful for that. And all of her Fiberchats has brought so much of the fiber community and world to all of us, you know. So I love that about your
Thank you.
YouTube channel, is that it's not about you. It's, you know, about the community and the world. So I think that's pretty amazing. And this, I've done every MKAL since Exploration Station. I've done, and I did that one twice because I love that one so much, and it's just easy to do. Even though it has brioche, it's just easy. And last year, I don't know what it was with last year. I had a heck of a time with last year. Like I never could the belts.
Right. It was not like really easy.
I couldn't do it. My brain would not wrap around it. I wound up doing, I don't know if, let me see. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, I wound up doing a basket weave on them because I couldn't ever get those little twisty 2-string cables to come out right. I don't know why. And I think it's funny that this year my colors are very similar to the ones that I'm doing. Like everybody else, we started over, right? So my first clue was like corals and peaches and tans.
Mhm.
And like a lot of the kits were, like a lot of people were doing. And I did it. I got like the half before the drama started because I just didn't want to go into Ravelry group. I was hanging out with my friends, knitting, not paying attention to what's happening in the universe. And when I got home, the drama, you know, kit, and I'm like, he's going to redo that. I just knew it in my heart. I said, he's not going to leave that like that. He's not going to. So when it went into, okay, let's, you know, version 2, let's make it your own thing. And the way the community tried to come together, like little mini knitting groups were creating a version for themselves, saying, okay, we've all decided this is the one we're going to take. And I thought that was really awesome. You know, some people didn't like it, saying, you know, they bought the pattern, they didn't want to be a designer, but I thought it was pretty amazing. And then when he just, that heartbreaking video that he did, I was crying right along with him. It's because I know, I mean, I was devastated for him over that whole weekend, knowing, you know, I'm sure he's still feeling it, that there's no way he meant to hurt anyone. And once you've done it, to try to undo it, it's in your head, it's still there.
Right.
So I love that he just started fresh, and he started with just that little concentric square, you know, his little piece of paper. Like he didn't go all out and make another pattern for us. He just has his little piece of paper, turning it all around when he's showing the video, to just say, you know, this is where we're at. And so I switched my colors back to my comfort zone colors, which are just teals and limes, which is almost every shawl I have. Where so the corals and the peaches were outside of my normal wheelhouse. And I did did it like he asked. Of course, I did it my way. So I put eyelets in there, which is, you really can't see them because it's not blocked. But I always change his patterns without changing his patterns, you know. So I put eyelets in there where they're not supposed to be. I put beads in there, and I started the mohair dare, and then I made this, and I thought it was cute, Irina, that you said it looked like a little flower, because I always thought it looked like a little flower. And even before you said it, I had made this tiny little granny square, little bitty one, and I said, I'm going to put the granny square right in the middle to make it like solidarity with the people that are doing the crochet version and still keep the concentric squares going. I did add extra colors, and I'm still adding extra colors. So I'm not very far in clue 2, but I did put the purple in there.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can tell it's purple. And this lime green is held double with mohair. And then these white ones are Surrey alpaca held alone.
Beautiful.
And I don't know how, I don't know. The next color is going to go really crazy because it's going to be just one orange. And the orange has like a little purple in it. It's hard to tell, but it does. And it is going to be the baubles. So that'll be my solidarity with the bauble people.
Love it.
One little round of the baubles. And I know I'm talking a lot, but this thing has turned into, I don't know, in my heart, I might be, y'all might want to like just have me never come on again. But it started out, you know, as a hate shawl. It did. I mean, that's what it turned into, you know, in the beginning. And we've erased that because that's how we deal with history. We don't want to deal with. We just erase it and pretend like it didn't happen. And I don't know, I'm stepping on toes here, but the first week, so the clue dropped on the 5th, and the attack on Israel was on the 7th. And I was doing the blues and the whites at that time. And that's what I was thinking and praying. I don't know if y'all do that or not, but in my heart, it made me have a connection to that, or at least it put that history into my shawl at the same time it was happening. And then I'm here in San Antonio. So this last weekend, we were in the direct path for the eclipse. So the orange is going to be my ring of fire that's in the shawl. So it's kind of like,
It's beautiful that
it's history happening.
and I feel like it means, like, that's what I said in one of the previous Zooms, that this show, with all that happened, with all the controversy that happened, and how the community dealt with it, and how each person made their individual choice of which way to go and why, it has much more meaning than just another MKAL show for each and every one of you.
Exactly. So thank you for letting me go on, but
Thank you.
it means a lot.
You unmute yourself for just another second. I want to ask you one of the question that one of the people asked. So the question was, is there any part of the testing phase that leads to feedback for Stephen to modify or change something in the MKAL, like in general, right? Like if you guys testing an MKAL show, is there ever a situation when your feedback makes him change something about the MKAL or pattern in general?
Since I've been the testnet coordinator, I don't think it has ever happened. It's his idea, it's his design. Our job is just to test it. And I mean, we've never had an issue like this before. But like, his design process is his, and we are just making sure that you can actually execute it, I think.
Right.
So I usually never comment on like, I don't like this, or this is not my cup of tea, blah, 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 because it's his design. It's not my design.
Right.
I can.
So let's just address that cup of tea, right? Because like you and I, when we talked about the MKAL last year, we sort of touched on it, that doesn't matter what kind of design Stephen is going to publish, there's going to be some people who love it and some people who hate something about it. And some people who criticize how much work is every clue, and some people who's going to criticize how little work was there for each clue. Is that always difficult to deal with, like when the clue comes out and suddenly like all the feedbacks come in?
No, it just, we expect it to happen. You know, it always happens every single year. Even like the most loved MKAL designs, there are always some people that don't like this part of it or that part of it or the entire thing. You know, it just, you can't always please everybody.
Right.
It's just how it is.
Well, another thing, last year when I talked to you, you were saying that Vertices Unite is your favorite show. Has that changed since then? Do you have any?
No, it hasn't. that was my I didn't know Stephen when I made my first Vertices Unite. But that was like kind of, it was like an eye-opener. Like, wow, you can actually knit like this, and you can like connect everything at the same time and then do like a border, and it's just when you bind off, you're done. You don't have to seam or like do a lot of extra work, and it was eye-opening. I have a close second, but it hasn't been released yet. So
Ooh. can be like know when approximately.
yeah, it's this year's hybrid knit along shawl. I test knit that one and made a sample for Stephen, and it's just it was just so, I don't know, the colors were amazing and the whole process was just very enjoyable.
Well, you guys might wanna pay special attention to that. Thank you.
It's coming next month. So
thank you. Katya, do you wanna unmute yourself?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
I live in Arnhem, and in Arnhem there's the bridge from the movie A Bridge Too Far, which is a lot of history from the World War II. So the hate symbol was very clear. I didn't see it when I was knitting it. I was just having fun with all the stripes moving in a different direction. But as soon as it was clear it was the symbol, I just ripped it out. So that was a no-brainer for me. I started the square. First I started the triangles, but it wasn't really working for me. So are my colors.
Beautiful.
And I started the clue 2. And I have my red with Stellina. It's not really clear. And this is what I picked up in the Scottish Yarn Festival, where you didn't go.
I'm so excited because Eva, who is the organizer of the Scottish Yarn Festival, she's actually at Rhinebeck, and I'm gonna meet her there, and I'm gonna be at their booth in Woolen Walk on Friday. So if any of you guys going there, please find me and say hello. I would love to meet you in person. But next year, that's my plan, to come for the Scottish Wool Festival.
It was a really nice festival. So I picked up some Shetland and mohair yarn. So I have an inbuilt mohair there.
Yeah.
So with the square, I did the first. I did the garter, and then a little bit of pearls, and a little bit of extra. I'm really enjoying it, and I love the colors.
Do you have any prediction about next clue?
I think it's going to be outwards and a little thing underneath. But
any technique predictions?
Yeah, well, everyone's going or talking about brioche, so let's go for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Emma?
Irina?
Yes.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
I think my favorite part every year is people guessing what's coming next.
It's my favorite part as well, because
I love it.
That's why
I'm always like
because every time I'm guessing something, somehow it just never happens. Like whenever I'm saying something, it's gonna be the complete opposite. So even last year I was like, cables. I don't think it's gonna be cables, and Martin, of course, won that one. So yeah, that's why I'm asking others, and I'm not even bothering to predict.
What's your guess?
I think it's gonna go wider and narrower, and then on the bottom the stitches are gonna be picked up and going down, and somehow it's gonna turn into triangle. That's like my guess somehow, but like I'm almost 99% sure it's gonna be wrong. You're such a tease. Thank you. Emma, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. It's my first MKAL. I think I've said that before. And I'm exactly up to where Martin is. So I feel really proud of myself that I'm keeping up. I've literally just picked up the stitches for the second
side.
half. Yeah.
You know, the second side goes twice as fast for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because you already like memorized the pattern and it's faster. I don't know. Somehow, like the second part, I flew through. But the first part took some time, like some getting adjusting. The second half of it was like half the time. So I think you're gonna catch up real fast.
I think that does help, like you say, being able to memorize the pattern and just not keep having to refer to your notes. But so there's where I'm up to. Once I'd come to terms with the pivot and and started again, and I quite liked seeing everybody adding their own thing to the pattern, and but I'm quite not ever so experienced knitter. I'm usually more of a crocheter, really. So I love the crochet square that's coming out. So after I'd done like the first repeat, I was quite pleased that it was quite a simple pattern because I could see everyone doing their own thing, and I thought, oh, I'm never going to be able to, change it. I'm never going to be able to, know how to add something different to what's written down. But after I'd done the first repeat, I got a little bit brave, so I started doing a few rows in stocking stitch, and then the last 2 rows I just made like narrower stripes so I could use up all of my colours. So I was pleased that and I feel really super chuffed that I have actually been able to. I know it's only simple, I'm
so proud that you like experiencing it. Yeah. Awesome job. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
And I'm absolutely just so in love with my colours that I think that's what's keeping me going. I have added held a mohair with my colour A, but I don't think there's not much difference in the colour, so you can't really tell. And it's actually a variegated mohair, so you can't really tell, but
well, I'm sure like once you blow it, it's gonna fluff up and then you're gonna be able to tell,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so thank you.
Okay. Catherine, would you like to unmute yourself?
Sure. I wanted to unmute myself because I finally finished what my Clue 1 on Saturday, and I'm using the lipstick kit, and I just and I love seeing Linda's version, and I did a little bit of a different thing with the squares, and I was trying for something like cosmic, like that, like if you would look in the middle, you'd see a TARDIS or something, and then the squares are coming out. And I'm hoping that this does finish fast. My goal is to try and be done by this Clue by Saturday, because work is hectic and my Sunday is toast and my following Saturday is toast. And the only issue when I was lining up my yarns is I realized that the burgundy, because I use so much more of it, is smaller. And because this was, I did a whole half of the previous Clue 1, right, I started worrying. So then I went in my stash and I found this plum mohair that actually picks up the kind of plum in the darkest color.
That's beautiful.
And I phoned the yarn shop to see if they had more, and they said they don't have any more, but you bought 2 when you bought this one. So last night I had all my yarn on the living room floor looking for that second ball of mohair, and I found it. So now I have 200 meters of the mohair, and I'm going to use it held double instead of this in Clue 2. Right. I'm pairing the lipstick with a red mohair in the Clue, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to use my variegated multi instead of the third color for the eyelets. I might do it in the middle one, but I'm hoping that this is going to look good with the middle, and and I'm
Absolutely,
again,
like,
I'll probably being
for the
overly
rest-
optimistic, but I'm really hoping to be done Clue 2 by the end of Saturday so that I can start Clue 3 and have a couple of nights of that. But of course, work has not been cooperating at all.
Well, that's usually the how it goes with work, you know. It has that thing about interfering with life. I mean, I actually really, really love your version. It's super dramatic. It's super like graphic, really beautiful. So I'm going to be very curiously watching.
I wear a lot of black, and so I figured it would be a nice accent.
That's definitely going to be a showstopper right there. Camilla, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Arena.
Hi.
First time I've joined. I got 6 colours. I've actually finished this clue, so.
Oh, beautiful.
So I had the colours that I initially sorted out for the gear gradient. They weren't clear enough, so I picked some different colours, and then with the change of the original design, I thought, why not just use all of them? So I actually prefer the new design. I'm enjoying the freedom.
Right. Right. Do you have any predictions about where we're going with the third clue?
I'm not sure. Yeah, probably outwards.
What about
like
technique ideas? What do you think we're gonna get? Brioche? Do you think we're gonna get mosaic?
I was thinking mosaic because that's using the colours separately.
Yeah.
With brioche, you use 2 colours at once, so we'll see. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Thank you. Dorothy, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, Arena. I wasn't going to talk, but when Linda was talking about, oh, you know, can you guess where things are going to go and predictions? And you know, I did Clue 1, and I decided to mix it up by doing reverse stockinette for the stripes. And so when then Clue 2 dropped, I thought, oh, it's reverse stockinette. Let's go. Oh, crap. It just looks like more of the same. So I, you know, I've introduced this to 2 extra colors. But then with the Clue 2, I decided to mute it and just go quiet. Just be quiet. Because sometimes you need, like I said, Deanna Vreeland from Vogue, who's the editor at Vogue, said the eye needs to travel. And sometimes you just can't, everybody say, look at me. So you want to quiet it down. So that's what I did with Clue 2.
Well, since you were so good at guessing, not even guessing, but like feeling Stephen, do you want to share your thoughts about, what's your feeling about the third clue? Where are we going?
Oh man. Well, you know, I love texture or pulling it, and that's what I'm hoping that Stephen will make us like jump out of the 2-dimension and go hop on over to the other side, or his shawls tend to be, I shouldn't say that. I would like to actually see a long stole. That's very not what other people want, but I think that's such a dramatic thing to go, oh, like that, and have it go down your back. So I don't know. I want it to be dimensional, and I want it to just be darling. I need to exit the room.
Well, he sort of mentioned somewhere that you're going to end up with a large show. So I'm hoping that your prediction works also, because I'm a fan of the big shows for sure. Almost schlanket, it's like the more the warmer, the cozier. So I wouldn't be mad if there would be a lot more knitting in our life in the third and fourth clue. Well, since this is your first MKAL, are you enjoying it?
Oh, I love it. And and then I'm finishing it in time to work on my own designs. But then it's like I also want to just turn the designer brain off and just go, okay, tell me what to do, because I love that. I love handing the reins to someone else and say, oh yes, what else? What else should I do? You know, that's a wonderful, relaxing, meditative thing.
Right. Well, thank you. Sabine, do you want to unmute yourself?
Speaking of where it goes, I think, or I've been thinking about it, and I thought, well, there's only like two ways for clue 3, I think. It's either go down if you have the entire thing,
right?
Like go down from here, like down, or sideways. And my original thought was he's going to go down, but pick up stitches to the edges. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, well, this makes the whole thing really, really tight, not like wide thing. So I think it's going to go outward first, and I think closing up the top and then something down. And I don't think it's going to be brioche, but I expect heavy cabling.
Interesting.
Somehow. I don't know why, but somehow I think the only thing that goes with the pattern or with the blocks or with the stripes to me is kind of cabling. And I tried some brioche because I finally figured out it's patent, but with 2 colors. Patent is like a German thing. And I thought, I can't really see it, but cables I can.
Well,
so that's my prediction.
Like, I was actually thinking that because Stephen likes I-cord, and we already have 2 places where there is, like on the bottom there, right? That you're saying we're gonna go down. So there is I-cord there. Do you think the entire shawl is gonna be like 7,000 stitches of I-cord at the end?
No. I think it's going to be somewhat not like a triangle, but like a round in the top triangle type, a roundy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe round in the top and triangle down, but pretty wide. So we may end up if we at some point like say clue 4, we're sort of knitting around the thing, we might have a couple of thousand stitches, which I wouldn't mind because I think this is just so
yeah, who would mind a couple thousand stitches?
Honey, just one more round, and then it's like 3 hours later, I'm in the middle of the last round, dear.
Right.
So.
Well, thank you, Sabine. Linda, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. I'm just wondering if there are any more questions because I have to excuse myself.
Oh, there is another question just popped in.
Okay. I
can
take questions, but then I kind of have to go.
we also actually almost done.
Okay.
So how diverse are the test knitters in age and location? What is the youngest age and what is the oldest age? Where is the most interesting location that the test knitter lives?
Only for the MKAL test knit, or just
so
like
let's do the MKAL.
Okay, because I have a lot of test knitters. The youngest is 36, I think. Not sure who's the oldest. I don't really know all of the test knitters' ages, but like, yeah, I would guess like 60 plus, 60, 70 plus. No, 60 plus, not 70. Locations are all over. I have a few here in Iceland, Germany, Holland, the United States, Australia. Yeah, all over.
Interesting.
What was that? Was that it? Was there more?
Well, is there like what would you consider the most interesting location?
Oh, Aussie. I want to go to Aussie.
Like I have so many friends in Australia. I feel like I really want to go there one day. Maybe
I
you
know a lot of people from Australia, and I think like especially like the humor in Iceland and in Australia is like
very
very
well,
very dark.
Iceland is another place I would really love to visit, and you invited me for pizza night on Friday, so I'm still,
Yep.
yeah, it's still in the plans. Like I still,
It's an open invitation.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank you, Linda, for joining us today. I know you have to run, but thank you so very much, and I hope we might see you again before this trial is over.
Maybe.
Thank you, and I want
thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to thank all of you guys for joining me today. So the next Humans of Westknits meeting is going to be next Wednesday. So I'm skipping Saturday because Saturday I'm going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to Rhinebeck, and Martin has his competition in London. So neither of us are available for Humans of Westknits on Saturday. However, we're going to have a lot to talk about next Wednesday. So enjoy your knitting. Remember all the questions. Have your samples to show us on Wednesday, and I hope you all can join. So it's going to be next Wednesday, and then we also have. And by the way, next Wednesday is my birthday, so I'm going to be celebrating with you. So there's going to be a surprise giveaway. And I couldn't wish for a better company. So I hope to see all of you next Wednesday at 1, the same Zoom ID, the same password. Please join me. We'll raise a toast for this community. You guys making me very happy. And I'll see you then. Happy knitting till then. Thank you, everyone.